So there's a bunch of different tools that we can use to help improve our ability to stay focused on our work or on our studies for an extended period of time. So we are going to split them up into three. The first group is tools that help us with time management of our focus session. The second group is tools that help us combat distractions. And the third type is tools that we can use to help make our work a little bit more fun. So let's start with the first category. So in the late 1980s, a student called 𝗙ance was struggling to focus on his studies and making his assignments. Feeling overwhelmed, he asked himself to commit to short bursts of focused study time. He found a tomato-shaped kitchen timer, he set it to 25 and started to work. These are in fact the humble origins of the productivity technique, the Pomodoro method. Now, ever since, many apps and websites have been built around this method. That is, you set aside a certain amount of time for work and then you take a break for a few minutes. And in my opinion, the most effective of these apps don't help you just figure out how to time 25 minutes and 5 minutes because you can just do that simply with a clock. These apps just add a little bit of gamification to it. And this leads us to the tool number one, which is an app called 𝗙ance that you can download on your phone. And the idea here is that you set a timer for the app, let's say 25 minutes for work. And in that time, a tree is planted, a virtual tree. Now you are supposed to focus on your work and not check your phone. If you do, then the tree will die. It's a great app because it lets you divide your time into small sessions and you can work amazingly with this Pomodoro method. And then over time, as you plant more trees, it would become a full-fledged forest. So the idea is very simple and cute to divide your time into focus session. Now the next app that you can use to track your time manually is called Toggle. And the Toggle is basically an app that is not free. You have to pay to use it. Here you can manually track your time. For example, you can say for 38 minutes I have recorded my YouTube video and for 45 minutes say you can see I have studied for my exams, and then you can also write whatever you have done the whole day, and then you can track your progress, that how much time you have actually spent on working and studying for exams and how much time you have wasted so far. So the idea of this app is to tell you how much time you are actually spending on work and how much time you are wasting. This is a great app that you can use to manually record your progress. So whenever you start working, you just hit start and it would start recording your time, and when you stop working you can just hit stop and the timer would stop. And when you stop the timer, it becomes an entry into your little projects, and then from there you can track your progress. So this was the app for manual time tracking. Now there's an app that you can use to track your time automatically. This app is called 𝗙ance. It's really cool because 𝗙ance is automatic time tracking. It's for Windows and it's for Mac. And it's actually cross platforms. For example, if you are switching from Windows to Mac or Mac to Windows, then you won't lose your data. What it does is that it figures out that what app you are using at the moment, what website you are exploring at the moment, and based on this, it would categorize your work and what you are doing based on what you have done in the past and what it thinks that thing is categorized into. So this is basically AI that would categorize the work you are doing, and then there would be some uncategorized work that it could not figure out that. It's a great tool when you are using your Windows laptop or MacBook. Now let's talk about the tools to combat distraction. So the next tool to combat distractions is called 𝗙ance. Now 𝗙ance is a mindful productivity app that asks you to take a moment to take a deep breath before opening any distracted app. The way it works is that you install the app in your phone and then you can choose which app you want to activate on 𝗙ance. So let's say I activated it on Instagram. So whenever I open up Instagram, it would pop up with a thing that says take a deep breath, and you can do 1 second, 2 seconds or 5 seconds. 5 seconds I think is a good time for you to think about, do you really want to use this app or you don't need to use this app? If the answer is yes, then you can obviously use the app. If the answer is no, then you should quit the app. So 𝗙ance is great because it would stop you from wasting your time and do the productive work. And the next tool in the list is called Opal, which is like the most intense app that literally blocks your software. It disables apps on your phone and you can't even access them. So for example, you set a timer at 9 p.m. So Opal would automatically block those apps at 9 p.m. for you. You can't access them anymore. So you have to set the timer for it. So if you feel like you are getting distracted by these apps, then you can use Opal to block the apps for you. Now, social media apps are designed to be as more addictive as possible. If you are also addictive to social media, then there's a setting that you have to use in your smartphone. Apps like TikTok and Instagram are so ridiculously visually stimulating. And the worrying thing is that these apps are designed so well with literally an army of thousands of developers trying to make them more and more addictive. We don't even realize the subtle features that hook us in and keep us scrolling. So check out this TikTok screen. For example, the video is in full screen and they have got really strong use of colors and very conveniently placed buttons to get you to keep on scrolling. Now, one pretty effective way to combat this distraction is grayscale mode on your phone. This was designed for colorblind peoples, but now it has broader aspects. Grayscale mode basically turns your phone into black and white screen, so it would become visually less appealing to you. This feature is actually the part of the accessibility settings of your phone, so you can reduce your screen time and minimize digital distractions. For example, if you are on an iPhone, you can go to settings, accessibility, display, and text size, color filters, and once you are there, you can switch on color filter and then select a grayscale. You could also give it an accessibility shortcut if you want, and that lets you quickly toggle on and off grayscale depending on how distracted you feel. The next thing to combat distraction is focus mode on your phone. You can just turn on focus mode and it would stop you from getting distracted while you are working. So whenever you are at workplace, simply turn on focus mode on your phone and then you wouldn't get distracted by any of the notifications. So I know a lot of people know about this, but people don't realize how effective this is, because you can just simply add some people, maybe your relatives or friends, into non-focus list in case of emergency, but for others you can turn on the focus mode. This would help you a lot while you are working and you want to be as productive as possible. Now let's talk about the tools to make your work more fun. Now you can make your work more fun with people or groups. So it's good if you can find a workplace to work with your friends and group members. That would make your work more fun. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and you got valuable information from this video, and I will see you in the next one.